Apex Legends Season 11 Escape is right around the corner and we're getting a lot of new content. Let's go over everything you need to know about Ash's abilities, the new map, Stormpoint, and the new gun, the Car SMG. Let's start with Ash. If you want a full breakdown on Ash's lore and backstory, I have a recap video you can check out. But let's go into her abilities. Ash's abilities heavily reflect Titan abilities. Ash's tactical arc snare features her throwing out a projectile that shocks enemies and tethers them to the ground. Ash's tactical requires you to be extremely precise with how you deploy it. The best bet is to hit the enemy in the body with the snare to actually catch them and do the stun damage. This snare also only lasts a few seconds on its surface if it doesn't attach to anyone, and it fizzles away, so precision is key with her tactical. When you're caught in the snare, running away from the trap, stretching the tether, helps it break faster. Ash's passive, Marked for Death, reveals death boxes on the map whenever a player dies. Ash also has another passive that allows her to throw a data knife at a death box to find where the killer squad is. She can only use this ability once per box, and the tracking only pings the enemy's location like a manual player ping, so it's not constantly tracking. Ash's ultimate phase breach is reminiscent of her Ronin Titan's ability, and it allows her to rip a portal up to 70 feet ahead and instantly teleports her to the other side. This can be utilized horizontally or vertically. The portal only lasts for a few seconds, so Ash's teammates are able to take the portal after it's placed, but again, it cannot be taken back. Ash's abilities make her an extremely aggressive legend, allowing her to open up fights for her teammates and giving her more survivability as a solo legend if her teammates die. The new map, Stormpoint, is the biggest that Apex has seen yet, and there's a lot to explore within it. The map is set in a tropical island that has varying degrees of elevation and transportation. Tridents are available on this map, as well as new gravity cannons, similar to the ones on Halo, that throw you through the air to cover some ground. You can use abilities and guns when traveling through the air in the cannons, but be careful since the cannons do make a significant amount of noise when you enter it and alert enemies to your rotations. There's the return of prowlers, the animals you see when initiating trials in World's Edge, and a new prowler nest where they constantly spawn. Throughout the map, there are also spider eggs that hang on walls and ceilings of caves or tunnels. These do not drop spiders on you until they've been shot at, so you have the option to avoid spiders if you hate them like me. These new additions to wildlife will give you loot like attachments and ammo and give you a little bit of damage towards your Evo shield. Clearing spider nests will give you some crafting metals as well. Stormpoint is about 15% bigger than World's Edge, and early rotations will be important as circles close since there's more areas to cover. The map rotations this season will be Stormpoint and World's Edge, which also applies to the ranked playlist. There are lots of unnamed POIs that have good loot, so you won't be scrambling for too long to find your loadout. Speaking of loadouts, there have been a few weapon changes and a new gun addition to the loot pool. The Car SMG is a fan favorite from Titanfall, and it enters the Apex games with a few changes from the previous titles. The Car can utilize heavy or light ammo and can switch between the two whenever, and will automatically switch over to whatever ammo type you have left when it runs out of the other. The Car can also take heavy or light attachments, so it can use the level 3 heavy mag, but use light ammo or vice versa. It has an incredibly high rate of fire and is really good in close range fights, but mid to long range does reveal its higher recoil rate, so it becomes less viable at range. With weapon changes, the G7 Scout has been put into the care package with the option for double tap fire mode and slight buffs, and the triple take is now on ground loot. The triple take has been reverted back to taking energy ammo though, since it's no longer considered a sniper. The EVA 8 has been nerfed again, this time to pre-season 10 changes, and the L-Star is also getting a few nerfs to balance last season's buffs. There's also a new hop-up called the Dual Shell that cuts the reload time in half for shotguns, since it reloads 2 shells at a time. Starting in Season 11, you'll be able to use 50 crafting materials to upgrade your white shield to blue shield level 2. Another adjustment players will be happy about is that Wattson is finally actually getting a buff this season. Her fence cooldowns have been cut in half and she can place them 50% further and a little bit faster. Crossing Wattson's fences will be more punishing, and her ultimate will have a health pool, similar to how Lifeline's drone operates. There are more detailed changes and quality of life updates that can be found in Respawn's official patch notes. How do you feel about Ash entering the Apex games? Are you excited for the new map? Let us know! We'll be sure to keep you up to date with all the Apex news, so be sure to keep it here at IGN.
Pull up at the spot and you know I'm steady blazing.